And here's a few things I might say.
Yeah.
So far, we've used some learning platforms that you've done on your laptops. We've done a couple of sessions with the Khan Academy in their personal finance course. We've looked at Career One Stop, and you filled out a worksheet exploring careers on Career One Stop.
Okay.
And today we're going to be looking at a new program from a company called IVoT. And IVoT is an acronym for the infinite value of time. And the reason why this company was named IVoT is because the underlying value of this company is to value you and your life.
I love
So
that.
with that feeling of how special each one of you are, you each are getting your own account, and you're going to be able to go at your own pace so that you can learn these lessons and be thinking about how they can help you in your life and how you construct and compose your life and explore making some decisions or imagine what kind of decisions you will be making. So that's just a little sample of what I might say when I tell them. I could also say that you're part of a very special group. Some of the first users and the other users are some students in Ghana who are at a STEM sports school. And another group are college students at the University of Long Island. And so that I could let them, I could give them some examples of the international. And the reason why we have people all over the country and the world who are studying these lessons is because the lessons are universally important. There are lessons here that no matter where we come from, it's going to help us.
So great, Jennifer. Give me goosebumps.
Oh,
Really nice. Thank you. No, it's just it's all really what this is about. And maybe I can add that, on the platform there is a community place where you can you know, ask questions, talk to each other about ideas if you want. And ask questions of the people at IVoT, about money, about, career, and anything that is whether it be personal, whether it be what you want to do with your life, all of this, how you think about your future. Those are all part of the community offering at IVoT.
oh yeah, Emile, we should. I didn't give the IVOT overview. I only said something about what IVOT means,
Right.
why that's relevant. But then you're right. There should be an IVOT consists of
Yeah.
self-paced programs, a community messaging, or you can say it better. And then maybe that would be the good time to say that the other students in the community come from these places.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So we could keep practicing the introduction, and then that could be something that all the facilitators get a chance to practice.
And I think it's also, I want to, or maybe I think maybe it's important to let them know that they're going to have an opportunity on this platform to participate in storylines. So or play character, go help learn through characters. It could be a student, it could be a professional athlete, and we're going to be having more and more characters and simulations where they can learn how to deal with different kinds of situations, problems, opportunities. And, you know, that gives them the opportunity to learn these skills in more real life kind of applied settings. We're trying to teach you real life skills. It's not just facts or something.
And the people who, I'm just going to practice something, try it out.
Yeah.
The people who founded this company, IVoT, and who have been creating the learning materials are financial experts. One of them, Emile Westergaard, worked on Wall Street for over 20 years. And then I could give a few sentences about that. And then I could mention a few things about the team. Norman ran banks.
Yeah.
So we could write a little script about something short, but then we could say, this training is for you. So what am I trying to say? You're going to learn not by having to read many pages of theory, but by learning about stories. So there's a big element of fun in this kind of study where you'll learn about different characters. And then instead of just reading about what they decided to do, you'll get to make some decisions for them and discover the results.
Exactly. Amitofo. Amitofo.
You can tell I'm a little nervous because I'm still new at it, even though I've been teaching for a long time. When you're teaching something new, there's still that little stumbly moment. So that's why I want to do some practice sessions with it. Okay, so we want to make sure, and I know you were taking notes, we want to make sure that on the very first introduction to it, that we explain what does IVoT mean, because it is a funny sounding word. And then we describe the major components, and that leads to, since one of the components is the community, then we can mention other places where they are using these materials. And then if we do a brief description, would we do some, like, a couple sentences about you and Norman?
Right. I have that notes here. I got that. Yep. I'm going to write this all up as part of our, I mean, whether, is kind of, well, it is, I guess, the teacher guide. I mean, it's in a sense, it's letting teachers explain what this is all about, who this is, and yeah, and obviously they're good, they're yep.
When we talk about the lessons, we can say that it's or something like, is it two components, the lessons and the community?
Uh,
Right.
yeah, it's, I mean, the program, like the programs, maybe the programs and the community. Well,
Okay.
I think the programs, the community, and the tools.
Oh, okay. So there's three main components of the IVoT platform. One, there's the learning programs, and those are organized into modules that you'll be doing at your own pace. And even after you've done one module, if you feel like doing it a second time, you can do that. So you'll be able to learn at
Yeah,
your own pace. The second is the community, and that's where you'll get a chance to share your thoughts, ask questions, not only to the teachers, but also the other students. And who are these other students? Well, some of them live in Ghana and go to the Fafali school, which is a STEM school. Some of them are college students. Oh, actually, I need to find something out, like, because I'm teaching minors. So, like,
we don't have to enable that, right? So
oh, oh,
we can
I just have to follow up on it, like what that, because you know how sometimes when you do things that you have to say, yes, I'm 18. And
yeah.
so ours, are there going to be other students like at Fafali that are going to be minors?
Yes.
Because I don't know, we have to be careful if we're like inviting minors to be
Yeah.
talking online with adults.
Okay. Okay, then we got to resolve that. I mean, there are controls we have on the community. I mean, even to the extent that we could, if we have to, we can just replicate the community for minors and have, different rules there or whatever, different, but let me review that. Let's review that from
Okay.
that's an important point. Yeah,
And maybe, like, maybe with my high school students, now that I'm
yeah,
talking and I'm thinking like they're already probably going to be bored, I might not give them the whole overview. I might just say, today we're starting this, explain IVOT, explain that they're valuable. And then I might say that these learning modules are one component, and we're going to start with this first module. And then maybe at a future session, I might tell them more, because they
yeah,
might
yeah.
need to know about the community or the tools. It might be information overload for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a guide, and again, it can be obviously tailored by the teacher or the facilitator, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
Yeah,
again,
but so then why don't you pretend you're me? So you're gonna, would you like do the share screen? Because then maybe I would put something up on the screen for everyone to look at, so I could show them, okay, these are the different modules and we're going to start with this one.
yeah. So, yeah, so with all of that, let's take a look at the site, and you all can register. You all have your own links to register. And if you have any questions on registering, you can ask me, or you can, but it should be pretty straightforward. Um, you all know how to sign up for apps and such. So this is the site, and you can see that there's a welcome here where Emile, or an avatar as Jennifer loves it, it, it just tells you a little bit about the program. and about how it works. He's the founder. We have
So
the
oh, so I'd probably in my class I'd probably show it.
yeah.
Don't you
Well,
think?
we're crafting a different video for your class because it's this one's for people who are potentially going to pay for it. But yeah, we'll have something for you this week
Oh, I see.
because that's aimed at kind of saying, well, we want you to try this and subscribe. That's not the goal with your students. We just want them to
Oh, I see. Well,
yeah.
I should show you a link of what our school principal does. He does a little like every Monday and Friday he does announcements, and it's
Yeah.
about a 3-minute thing, but he does it from his own home, and it's very laid back. He's like, "Hey everybody, happy Friday," and you can see his kitchen or his living room or whatever. And so for high school students, um,
They kind of like it.
like what if you just did it and you had like one of um Galita's drawings behind you or something just to um personalize it.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Oh, I used to live in New York City. Now I live in Lima, Peru. This is a drawing of my daughter. I'm really excited that you're going to be using these tools. I've been working on them for 10 years. Share a little thing about yourself. I mean, the other possibility too is since the thing that's going to be for my high school students, potentially we could even do it as a conversation between you and I,
Oh yeah,
or
nice.
or or that could be like a second thing where like um
We can even do it live for that matter, just
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, that would be great. Oh my God, then the students would be talking to someone who's in Peru and
Yeah.
um yeah, that actually we could schedule that. I've been having guest speakers every other week. And I'd like to do it once a week because I'm trying to teach them how to ask questions and this big thing. They're like, well, what if somebody else already asked my question? Then what am I supposed to ask? So I've been teaching them the concept of a follow-up question, that if someone shares something that you can follow up with a question to ask the speaker to talk a little more deeply about that subject. But so far, the only follow-up questions they have are things like, well, how many dogs and cats do you have? And what are their names? And what breeds are they? So they're really good about asking those kind of follow-up questions. But
Uh
okay, so you're gonna make a new thing, and then we'll
yeah.
have you be a guest speaker. Okay, so then you're gonna say these
So do
are
you have like one of these digital blackboards where you
yeah.
can do that? Wow, cool. Nice.
Well, I have a projector attached to the classroom computer, so
I got it.
I could if I was on Zoom with you, I could have you on the projector. I would just have to figure out where the camera is if you were going to be able to see the students.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, so I could have this up on the projector. So then I could say the first program that you're going to go through is that would that be the Welcome to IVoT Academy?
Well, I mean, the first program would be decoding the hidden logic of money.
Okay. All right.
I mean, really, and again, this is definitional, Jennifer, but these three cards are essentially the introductory program, decoding the hidden logic, protecting your purchasing power, and then the game of life. So the idea is students, you're going to learn some concepts and then you're going to get to play a game with them. And you're going
Okay.
to see how you're going to see how decisions made by these characters are affecting their current and future lives, you know.
Okay. You are going to see how
How,
the
yeah, how even small decisions can have a big impact on your future with money
okay.
by playing these characters. You can play a student, you can play a high school student, you play a college student, you can play a pro football player, and we're going to be adding more and more characters. So, uh, it should be a fun way to learn about the importance of making smart decisions with your money
Okay. How to learn about the importance of making smart decisions.
every day with your money.
And are these for some reason I don't remember these. I thought I did them already, but I remember Jane, but maybe I just remember it from the script I read. Um so then would
Yeah,
you
go
in
ahead.
the you just would the facilitators just leave him with that, or do you go into the program at all as a facilitator?
Well, the idea as a facilitator would be to, uh, and again, it depends, right? So in facilitator training, we're kind of spending 2 sessions on each of these cards, right?
Okay.
So in this case, I would go in here and I might just watch, first of all, the overview of the course. If we're calling it a course, right? There are 3 courses in the first program, or really 2 courses and a game in the first program.
Okay, two
So the
courses in a
course,
game.
right? So the first course is, teaching you how money works, and the second course is teaching you how to protect your money.
Okay.
And then the third one is a game to show you how important both of those things are and how that really works. And that's an introduction to the whole concept of money. And then then the second program is the personal money system program, where you learn how to really build and run your own money system, uh, and make good decisions. You're actually getting more into it, right?
Okay. So this would help me as a future facilitator to okay, so you're spending two facilitator training sessions on each.
Now,
So where
in your classroom, though, you might want to break it. You might want to, because you have a whole year, I'm trying to make this facilitator training 12 sessions long. And so, depending on how many, if eventually we might offer, well, I don't know. You could do it over 12 weeks. Maybe we'll have accelerated programs where you could do it even over a weekend, if you want to do it faster, get through the whole facilitator training. We can work that out, right? Where you would just do a kind of an immersion.
well so where the Friday group that I've now joined,
Yeah.
where are they at? Like
Well, we were up to set. We were start meant to start. We had finished the introduction, right? So the 2 programs and the game, and now we were ready to move into the personal money system program. But obviously on Friday, I kind of let us kind of have a meeting so we could all get to know each other, and so theoretically there we're into the personal money system program.
okay, so you've basically okay, so
So we
let's say I'm a new facilitator
right, let
and
me go back
you're
here, right? So
okay.
the new so let me go back to
If
the
I
card.
if
So
I'm a new facilitator, then I want to know like how long do these take? Because I saw something
Right.
on that screen that said 1.5 hours. So if this, I want
Yeah,
to
so
know how much.
expected time to complete weekly tasks, 2 hours, purpose of assign, um, hold on, but let me
No, I mean
go.
like
Yeah,
for
go
me
ahead.
to put it in my lesson planning, how much time am I going to allot in my week, in my teaching week, where the students are going to be going through this? Would it be that they could go, if I, because I have these students for an hour Monday and
Right.
Friday, and an hour and 20 minutes Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they have Thursday off. So if I gave them half an hour for four sessions, would they finish? Like, I wonder how much they would finish if they had half an hour. um
You mean in class or outside of class?
in class.
So the idea would be that if I go here and I say, okay, well, let's start with decoding the hidden logic of money. Let's watch the overview and just learn what we're going to learn. Here's what you're learning in this course.
Okay.
Welcome to your first step inside the IVoT platform. I'm your avatar, James, and I'll be your guide throughout this journey. This course introduces the IVoT method, the foundation for everything we teach here. Most people see money as a series of disconnected actions: earning, spending, saving, borrowing, maybe investing. But that's a flawed way to think. At IVoT, we see money as a flow, a system of cause and effect. And once you understand that system, you can learn how to make money work for you, not against you. In decoding the hidden logic of money, you will learn the basic logic that drives every financial decision, from your daily choices to long-term wealth and career building. Ready to get started?
Okay, so here in this course, you're learning the basic logic. Okay, so then I mean, they watch that. I don't think that needs, I mean, you could just kind of reiterate that, okay, so the first course is called Decoding the Hidden Logic of Money, right? We're here to basically learn that money follows a certain logic, and let's learn what that logic is. Money
Okay.
always, okay, so now let's learn about the first step of that. So we go to the next video and we say, okay,
Understanding how money works is the key to mastering your financial future. Money always follows a certain basic logic. If you want to learn to decode this logic, you need to understand who's making decisions, what drives those choices, and most importantly, how you can take control no matter where you're starting from. This is the core logic behind the IVoT method. Once you understand these basic concepts, you will be ready to move on to our certification programs, including the Personal Money System program and Investment Basics. So, if you're ready to finally see money clearly and use that clarity to take control of your future, let's begin.
okay. So again, okay, we're going to learn this logic
Money always
to see
works in
things clearly.
systems. In order to understand what we mean,
Okay, so
let's
this will
take
be the first real concept, right? The first two are just kind of welcoming you to this and telling you that, that it always follows a certain logic. Now let's actually learn a concept, right? So,
always works in systems. In order to understand what we mean, let's take a look at a simple money system. Mac's Coffee Shop. Mac is the owner of Mac's Coffee Shop. Mac's Coffee Shop is a money system. Money flows through the system each day, week, month, and year. Mac sells coffee and money flows into the system. Mac pays rent, buys supplies, and pays his staff, and money flows out of the system. The difference between the inflows and outflows is the profit or loss of the system. In fact, every business, every household, even you, are money systems, whether or not you realize it. Money comes in, money goes out. The system keeps running whether it's well designed or not. Understanding how systems work is the first step toward taking control of your financial future.
okay, so In my mind, Jennifer, for your students, and you can obviously say that's almost like enough for one class, right? You sign in, you welcome them, and you give them this first concept. And then there's an activity, right? So now you go to here and you go follow the flow. Okay, so we've talked, you can discuss, okay, money works in systems, right? Everyone can understand that. Money comes in because you sold a cup of coffee at Mac's Coffee Shop or however you got your money. If you have a job, you make some money working at the local restaurant or whatever you do, and then you spend that money. Money's going out. And every week, every day, week, or month, you have money coming in, you have money going out, and you know whether you have more coming in than you have coming out. But right, that's basically a money system. And now you go,
Okay.
let's just do an activity. So now we click here, we go to an activity, and we say, okay, let's do our first activity just to see and talk about this a little bit, right? So now we click on the activity and we go, okay, so pick a moment from your week. Let's do this activity, everyone. Pick a moment from your week where money came in or went out. Maybe you paid a bill, got paid, bought lunch, or covered a friend's ride. Where did the money come from? Where did it go? Was the system healthy or stressed at that moment? Comment below with your example, bonus if you notice a pattern. Now, one of the things we can do, Jennifer, as we go through this, obviously, because you're on our team, is if we look at these activities, because you're making a face and you say, oh, I might want to frame that a little differently, or I might want it to be a little different to start with. These are all we're first draft, first V 1.0. So, but and then we have some, and then you can say, oh, and I have some examples from other people in the community. Here's some answers that other people gave, right? And they can comment themselves.
Are those real people?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So other members of the community can put in their answers. Kyle, I went to the grocery store to buy soda. Safeway now has to buy soda. Safeway now has some money from my credit card, and I have some less money but more soda. I think the system is healthy because the soda was 33% off on sale. You know.
Interesting. Well, okay. I did have them do an activity 2 weeks ago where they had to track their spending for a day.
Yeah.
And then what I spend in a day. So first, this is sort of like something that people put on TikTok and YouTube, what I spend in a day. Yeah. And so their first thing was they had to watch somebody else's video and describe it. So then okay, I watched this guy who lives in New York City, and then they had to write down what that person spent in a day.
Yeah.
And then they had the option to make their own video or to just make a detailed log of what they spent in a day. So that kind of activity would I used I used the handout exactly as the other teacher had created it, and I'm not sure if she got it from Next Gen Personal Finance or if she made it herself. But I had mixed results because some of the students have part-time jobs and some don't. And I actually have one student in the class who I think might be homeless. And so I don't think he has any money coming in, but maybe he does. Not everybody was present during the day that we had the class presentations, because then they were meant to give a presentation and share what they did. And then
Right.
one guy turned it into this big thing of, this is what I did with my girlfriend. And then we did this. And then we went on this romantic walk in the woods. And then I bought her dinner. And then, and
So he was kind of chest thumping. Yeah.
yeah. But so I guess what I'm scrunching my face about, I'm just trying to think through. Already
Well,
with my class, I've had them do this exercise where they have to watch what another person spends in their whole day and then do it for themselves. So then I'm trying to think if I ask them to think about one thing they did with money and reflect on it, I'm trying to think like, what kind of deep reflection are they meant to do? They've already tracked what they spend in a whole day. And so I think
well,
they're
first of all,
ready for something a little more.
well, further, Jennifer, part of you as a teacher, right? So we have numerous, so I'm just walking you through sequentially. So in terms of teacher prep, we have a series of acts. So if I go, but let me share a screen again. So you might, skip that activity and, there are,
But
and
like,
just,
but we're,
if we,
I guess, but let's go back to it, because I think, like, what do you mean by where did it go? Do you mean the money went to Walgreens and then it went to this corporate conglomerate? Or do you mean the money went to this Mon Pa clothing store and now the money is staying in my own community because now that business owner is going to spend it at our community co-op? Are you wanting them to think about, like, how deeply, or how, like, what exactly do you mean by where did the money come from and where did it go? And is the system healthy or stressed? Like, it came from my, like, this is what my students would say. The money came from my pocket. It went on the counter and I was not very stressed.
yeah, well, that's a good point. So,
Damn, it's so good that I'm teaching this high school class, because
I know.
I'm starting to get to know them. They want to be funny, so they're going to say something. They're going to probably say something facetious. The money came from my pocket. The money came from my hand. The money came from my mom. The money came from.
Yeah, well, no, so, well, there's one other point I want to make. So two things. Look, again, we can work on phrasing, or we can just let them be goofy. I mean, there's no problem with them being goofy in the end. These are meant to just be kind of, if they say that, you can say, okay, that's funny, that's true. But we're trying to think of money as a system. So if we think about your system, where did the money come from into the system, right? Because money comes into a system, either you're selling something, like, for example, Jennifer, let's just say that when money comes into a system, something was sold, right? That's why money came into the system. So when you go to work, what are you selling? I mean, this becomes a bigger, right? And we can work this out, right? But what are you selling when you get paid at work? Because you're your own money system, right? You're selling something. Oh, what am I selling? I'm not selling shoes. I'm selling my time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you think of that, gets back to IVoT, right? Working is selling your time. And I wanted to say this because this is very important, is, and it's not said here, and it needs to be maybe somewhere, right? How can you make money? There are really only three ways. Or you can sell your time, you can invest, or you can loan, right? You can loan people money for interest. So again, so one of the things, the messages here at a high level for IVoT is you're learning to become an owner. Why do you want to become an owner? Because owners are getting paid essentially for other people's time, but you're getting paid. In other words, Norman would say, if you're not getting paid 24/7, even while you're asleep, then you're not taking advantage of how you can make money in the real world, because otherwise you're just selling your time. But so one of the things, but let me go, we'll go back to this is a good topic. Obviously, a lot we can talk about here. One of the thing you mentioned, your homeless student and students with various situations. So the goal here, and I'm just going to stop share for a minute, is the goal here with the storylines and avatars is to allow people to learn about money without getting stuck in their own situation, whether it be the problems or fears or whatever it may be, right? That by being able to play character, this is like, obviously for my students in Ghana, a huge issue. None of them make any money, but they want to learn how to run a healthy money system and play a character. And I by the way, at least with them, I was very clear. I hope you're not offended by playing a character of a kid who lives in Brooklyn, who's living a different kind of life. And they're like, no, I really like that. Right.
I
Or for that,
remember I watched that.
yeah.
You recorded that session and I watched it.
Yeah.
You asked them very politely, how would you feel about doing this? And they were like, yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Or playing a football player who's got a $5 million contract, for that matter, and that becomes, kind of stepping into someone else's shoes.
Okay, so I mean, this is so ideal for you and I talking about these activities, because now I have these real students to try it on and I can see what they're going to do. But why are you just asking them to think about one moment that they spent the money? You're asking them one moment when money came in or went out, and then you want them. What do you mean by the system being stressed or not? Do they have any concept of what it means to have a stressed money system? Like, what is that concept part of? Because I don't think we talked about that, what it means for the system to be stressed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And again, I think honestly, I haven't had time yet to really vet these activities, which I'm really glad we can do, because we can improve them. We can, either replace them or reframe them or tighten them up. I think,
And then
so
why do you want them to post it?
well, that's the way it's been set up, just to be able to, kind of share and see what other people are saying. So that there's a kind of, a way to, if I read that thing and I go, well, I don't know what I want to say, you go and you can read other people's answers and kind of see what they've said and see if it's interesting, see if they spark some ideas for you about how money has come in or out of their system, or even about it being stressed. I mean,
Well, what do you mean by stress? Do you know what you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, we have not defined that, right? So I think, to your point, maybe it's too early to raise that as an issue. Maybe we need to keep this a little bit more straightforward. I mean, what is meant by stressed is, are you spending money you don't have? Are you, or you know, is this just not a problem? Or, I mean, let's see what, you know, Tricia said. But anyway, yeah, I mean, all of these things are, you know, this is not the only time, obviously, we talk about money stress on the program. It's just they bring the idea that a system, I guess, can be either feel healthy or feel in stress, right? Maybe it's a
Yeah, but
very
I
high,
don't think they understand what that means yet.
yeah,
I don't think they understand what a healthy system or a stress system means.
okay. Yeah, hold on a second, Jennifer. Okay, I'm back. All right. Yeah, so all exactly why I'm glad we're doing this, Jennifer, too.
Okay. Me too. I want to okay, so I got to give you another update and then I have to get ready for cuz I have a student coming
Okay,
over. So, okay, so a positive update is that I met with this guy who's in admin. His name
yeah,
is Jory, and um trying to remember why he came to talk to me. I don't even remember. He came to ask me a question, and then I told him about IVoT, and he was really interested, particularly because of the Ghana connection,
okay,
because he was in the Peace Corps in the Cameroon for 2 years. And so
great.
he's really interested in this. And then I told him that I was in the process of figuring out how to integrate the IVoT materials into my course curriculum.
Yep,
And apparently, according to him, the what are called the standards, meaning the list of what the students are meant to be learning on this topic,
yeah,
like the California standards that
right,
he seemed to think that there's a draft but that it hasn't been solidified yet.
okay.
So I asked him, you know, would you be willing to work with me on this, and maybe we could be, you know, leaders in a way for the state. And he got really excited, and I
Wow,
I said, you know, because this we're the first high school to use these training materials, and um I'd like to compare what these materials are with what the state standards are. It's for every category, like for mathematics, for English, social studies, all have standards. And whenever you devise a lesson plan, you have to cite which standards are your lesson addressing.
yep,
So we're going to meet again this coming Friday, because I asked him if we could meet weekly to progress through this, and he said absolutely. And so that's a good thing, because it's like having it's an ally. And then I
yeah,
also wanted to find out from him, like, are we partnering with the community college in any way or the university in any way? So he and I are going to do this project together where we're going to connect with other teachers in the county who are teaching personal finance. And because I told him I want to know what curriculum they're using.
Yeah.
And then also, there's this dual enrollment program with the community college where the students earn high school credit and community college credit. So I want to find out if there's any business or finance classes that would ever be offered in this dual enrollment program. And then there's also this possibility where this university for $25, a high school student can take a university course and get university credit. And so I want to find out, can they take a personal finance course? And if so, who's teaching it? What's their curriculum? So he thought this was all great. And so I'm
What's
gonna,
his name?
his name is Jory. I forgot his last name.
Okay.
Jory.
Jorrie or something?
No, I think it's Jory.
Okay.
And so we're going to find this out. Because I said, I know that this is going to be a state mandate, and let's be like ahead of everything and really be on top of it, what our school is doing. And then our school could be like I forget what the word is.
Yeah, like
An example.
Yeah.
So that's good to have him as the ally, and that he's like, oh, I'll go look this up and blah, blah, blah. So now I'll have someone helping me to do some of this research.
That's
But then,
great.
on Monday, tomorrow, I have to meet with admin for this other thing with my benefits. But I feel like I feel like I should meet with you again or have some way of connecting, even if it's by email, before Friday, because
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel like
available. First of all, you have Gala on WhatsApp, I think.
yeah.
So I think the best thing is just, if you need me, just message her on WhatsApp. Honestly, I'm gonna probably go and get myself a a phone just so I can be on WhatsApp. It's so funny. I've been so happy without one. But I'm just, Milo is also giving me a hard time because we have a lot of stuff going on with him as well. I mean, by the way, this
Okay.
is so cool, Jennifer. And by the way, Peru also has a mandate, right? So
Okay.
what you're doing, obviously we can translate that, to all kinds of other states, countries. I know our advisor, Mike McGraw, was actually talking about the military. He said, Emile, I think this program could be really interesting with the military.
Okay.
Also, just because the guy's interested in Ghana, obviously happy to introduce him to what we're doing in Ghana, introduce him to our team
Oh,
in Ghana. And by the way, the group in Ghana hosts student volunteers from all over the world, US, Germany, to go there for a month or as long as, and get to work with the students there and have a whole kind of immersion experience.
okay. All right. So, I'm gonna think through a bunch of this stuff. I'm just gonna quick get ready for the student, and then I'll send you an email about availability, because I do have some availability before Friday. Cool.
Just quick on the financial side for a moment. Can you send 2 payments this month?
I'm not sure. Do you mean
Okay.
like 3,000?
Yeah, that would be super, if great if possible. I think I'm
Uh,
hoping this might be the last month. I mean, if we get some of these
I'm not.
things.
Yeah. Let me check, because
Okay.
when I checked my bank balance, it was pretty low, and that's also because my university pay has drastically gone down. So let me check. I'll have to check, but I'm not dressed yet, so I have to
Okay, go ahead.
get
No, that's
dressed.
fine.
And
All
for
right.
the student who's coming. Okay, talk to you later.
Ciao.
Bye.